Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Agency Insider Show. I'm your host, Navneet Kaushal, and today we have a very special guest joining us, Tom Winter. Tom is a serial entrepreneur, the founder of SEO Win, and an expert in leveraging AI for growth. He has helped countless SaaS companies scale globally. Today, we are diving deep into how agencies and SEO professionals can leverage AI for growth, optimize SEO strategies. Tom, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Navneet. It's amazing to be here, and I hope to share with you as much of information, things that you can implement as possible. So, welcome, everybody.
Yeah. And Tom, you have built SEO Wine from the ground up, worked with major companies at DevScaler, and you have deeply been involved in the AI space. For our listeners who may not be familiar, can you tell us a bit about your journey and what you are currently focused on?
Okay, so I'm a serial SaaS founder, half a developer, half a marketer. I started with a marketing agency over 15 years ago. Then I started to work with a couple of friends on DevScaler, as you mentioned, which is a tool to test developers' skills and map out the skills inside the company. We work there with Fortune 500 companies and with companies in over 100 countries. But right now, what I'm focused on is SEOwind.io, which is a tool to write articles based on research using AI. But for us, the research part is 80% of the process. So we want to feed AI with as much knowledge as possible. For that, we're using multiple ways, we're sourcing data from different places. We're using retrieval augmented generation, a lot of vectors to combine things together and be able to feed it into AI. And this is what I'm focused on right now. I'm in love with AI. But to be honest, most of AI that I'm using is through API. So this is a lot more fun because you have more control over the whole thing. And one more thing that I really love to use with AI is embeddings, something that most of the people don't hear about on normally, but it's just basically turning everything into a vector. So we can turn any kind of text, any keyword, any heading, any whole article or an image or a video into a vector, and then start comparing it together and trying to pull things that are relevant. And that's magical.
That actually sounds like magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you talk about the content, so because a lot of time people say AI content doesn't rank, of course. And second is if you want to do a rank AI content, you can't do it at scale. So what with SEO Win, is this the same thing or can you scale it? Can you scale it?
Definitely you can, but when you're talking about AI writing, most of the tools, apart from AI itself, so ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok,
Right.
and so on, when you're looking at most AI writing tools, what they're doing, they're using AI as search engine. So it's rather simple way of using that. They're asking a question, write me an outline for this and that, and then based on this outline, write me an article for this article, but for this specific outline. But this way, you're just using the knowledge that AI is trained on. And to be honest, when looking at how AI are trained, first of all, there's a cutoff in data, that is at the moment of training AI. So this is the first problem. So there will be no up-to-date things. The other thing is that it doesn't mean that AI, when it was trained on specific data, it has all the data in one finger. It will hallucinate. It will try to logically look at the things that it was trained on and provide you with information. We try not to do it this way. We use AI as a logical engine. So it's similar to how you use your brain. If you're a human writer, if you have a specific topic, even if you're very familiar with a topic, if you would be writing the article, you would go to the internet, you would find additional data, maybe some statistics, maybe some information about from topical authorities, maybe some thought leadership insights, the case studies, and you would pull it all in and you would try to write based on this information. This is exactly what we're trying to do. We're going into multiple data sources, from SEO sources to specific places on the internet to source additional data based on the outline that we're creating, and to pull the data from there to be able to provide it to AI in a contextual, digestible way. So it actually knows what to do. It's not about asking just like, write me this or that, but like, look, AI, I want to write this, but these are statistics that you can actually include here. This is what our special matter expert said about this part of the article. These are additional case studies that you can use. Please write the article based on the data that I'm providing you with. And this way, you're not creating fluff, but actually an article that is full of value. So exactly what EAT talks about.
Okay.
So you're providing the information inside the article that people are looking for. So Google, I'm always saying, Google hasn't changed much for the last 25 years. Even that everybody says that SEO is dead multiple times already, and all the algorithms change and like make the world upside down. Google wants a simple thing: the best value to the end user. This is the definition of SEO. Like if you're thinking about it today, best value to the end user. And it was like that 20 years ago.
Right.
Google became a far better referee in the last 25 years. But the goal that they have, quite the same, nothing different. So this is the main difference between AI writing tools. Like, so if you're using AI as a search engine, or actually you're using it as a logical engine that takes into account many data points, provide it to AI and use it to make valuable content.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit further about AI. I know, of course, it's an hottest topic, and you have been sharing AI related insights. Now, what are the biggest opportunities you see for agencies when it comes to leveraging AI for growth?
So first of all, I can see a big trend because I talk to many agencies. I can see a big trend that many marketing agencies are establishing something that they call AI councils inside the agencies. This means that they gather people from every niche of their company to talk on regular basis about where we can input information, like input AI into the tasks that we do. So this is like really amazing what they do, because they're actually looking at the company from the perspective, okay, we might figure out like here and here we can tweak it and make it better. Normally what they're after, from what I see, is any tasks that are repetitive, that everybody hates, that AI can take over and make it better. So one of the key things, of course, like from my perspective, is building content and how to use AI for research part and then writing the content based on research. But it can be, for example, something like connected with reporting. So like every agency needs to do reporting. And this is a repetitive task that you do every single week or month. And this is a perfect thing to do. So like one of the things that they're doing, they're like talking to everybody inside the company. They're asking people, what are the repetitive tasks that you would like to be taken over? Reporting, nobody likes it. So they try to automate these things. So there's multiple things that you can do using AI.
Okay. So I like the concept of AI council. I mean, I'm sure bigger agencies are, but smaller agencies with less number of people will still be stuck in doing it in
I
pieces.
think it's still worth to talk inside the company. Even if your company is like 4 to 5 people, it's worth to talk, like just to find a little bit of time during a month, just to be able to talk and exchange thoughts between people. Because when you're brainstorming, like you will get better ideas, better results, and don't be afraid of testing things out. Testing means that you will break things. That means that you will make mistakes, and that's really okay. But do test. Don't be afraid of testing and trying out new things that you can do with AI or AI leveraged tools.
Okay. Now, you recently mentioned in your LinkedIn post that humanizing AI content is crucial in 2025. So, can you break that down for us?
Uh, Humanizing is important. I just to say out loud in the beginning, I don't believe that AI detectors tell you anything, like, or that Google is against AI. So this is what I want to definitely state. For me,
Okay.
humanizing means proofreading text and make it more digestible for the end user. So like anything that you're doing with content should have a single aim, not to cheat Google, but for like to make the text better for the users. So
Okay.
humanizing for me means simplifying the text, removing a lot of garbage from the text, repetitive things from the text. When you do that, you will also increase if you have like a AI written article, you will decrease the score in AI detectors, and you can humanize using AI. That's the funny story.
Right.
One of my friends that is not in the niche, was when I told him like, look, we're humanizing using AI. He was laughing a lot. How can you use AI to humanize AI content? It's like,
Right.
no, like basically it's rewriting the whole thing with a specific objective.
Okay.
And that actually helps to make the content better, make it more digestible, give additional insights, give additional storytelling. So make the content more digestible for humans.
So is there a specific way of doing it, like, or is there a set of prompts? How exactly does humanizing AI content, which is not, I mean, past?
I would say magic, but yeah, basically, uh, there like what we, for example, do, like we have a specific prompt that we worked and we did like iterated a lot on that, probably a couple of hundred iterations to make it work. But there are also like other tools, like what I would look out, because many tools that tell that humanize it, and I'm like really against it. What they do, they include additional mistakes, human errors into the text to humanize it. For me, that's a no-go. Like this is something that you shouldn't do, because that shows you that you're unprofessional. And the only aim of adding human errors into that is cheating AI detectors. I think there's like, I can see that there's like way around it. Like you don't have to make mistakes, human mistakes, to proofread and to cheat AI detectors. You can actually make it better. And remember, when you're humanizing spam, all you will get is humanized spam,
Yeah.
nothing
Right.
else.
Right. So when you talk about this prompt, and I'm sure the listeners will love to get hold of that prompt. Is this a prompt you offer openly, or how does it?
We don't offer it openly, but definitely there is a free tool on our website that you can use to humanize your content. So, there are some limits because we're offering it for free.
Mm.
But if you would like to humanize your content, you can definitely go to SEOwin.io, and in free tools, you will find that there is a tool for humanizing content, and you can do it on our website.
So it's better than software like Originality for that matter.
It's definitely different. Like I didn't test all of them, to be honest, so I don't know how originality works. And to be honest, probably originality provides you with that for money. We don't. Like it's
Okay.
for us, it's like a side project that we just gave it to people because we use it also in our system.
All right. All right. Now, many agencies owners are hesitant about AI, fearing it will replace them and or their team thinks so. What's your take on that?
So often when I talk to the agencies, I hear a sentence that goes along these lines that like we're not implementing this or that from AI because we will have to fire half of our staff.
Okay.
So this is something that I hear a lot. And in this situation, what I'm trying to tell them, like, look, by making your company more efficient with AI, you're actually securing jobs in your company. Because if you will not implement any kind of tool, it doesn't have to be AI, but like in right now, like AI is the topic. If you will not implement things that will increase your ROI, efficiency, make your work better, in a year or two, you will have to fire 100% of people, not 50%, because your competition will actually implement that. And if they do, they will increase their efficiency and you can't compete with them. I'm a half a developer, half a marketer. In many cases, I'm not able to compete with AI. So if I'm not able to compete with it, I prefer to team up with it. And this way, like if I will increase the efficiency of the work that I'm doing in my company, instead of losing the jobs in our company, I can help our company actually grow, to actually increase the people that we can hire, because our efficiency goes up and we are able to add more people to the company. If
Right.
you think it from this perspective, all of a sudden it makes sense that you actually need to do it. Otherwise, there will be a far bigger problem than you see right now.
Right. Now, for agencies struggling to keep up with this rapid change in AI and SEO, what options are available to them to still deliver cutting edge results without needing to build in house AI teams?
I would avoid building in-house AI teams. I know a lot of agencies, big ones that are over 100 people, that decided at some point, like, look, we need to build this tool in-house. We will have like 4 or 5 people dedicated to a project that will resolve our internal problem, and we will build a tool. So what happened in most of them, probably 9 out of 10, is that they had to kill the project after 2 years of working on it because it didn't work out. It was not scalable. They weren't able to keep up with the technology because they were still focused on the agency part,
Right.
but they were not focused on the tool. So if you're thinking about like building a tool that actually is wider, don't do it internally. You can go to SEO Wind or any other. It's not about like going to me. It's about actually choosing a tool that best fits your needs and your strategy. If you're
Okay.
thinking about some small automation, so like some small tasks, of course, build it internally. That's not a problem. Use a GPT, make.com, like to build a workflow. Maybe in the future, like use some predefined agents. Right now, I still haven't seen ones that are good, but definitely for some small tasks, rewriting copy for LinkedIn posts, proofreading something, use a GPT that is designed for specifically for this.
Okay. And are there partnership opportunities perhaps with companies specializing AI driven SEO with these agencies can take, or is still too early for those?
What do you mean by that? Like, can you elaborate a little bit?
I mean to say that if people are not looking to bring the in-house AI team, are there partnership they can do with other AI driven SEOs?
For sure, you can. Like bringing consultants like helps you to
Okay.
streamline the whole process. But I believe that many of these things you can resolve on your own, even by talking, like having a partnership with ChatGPT. So just like ask sometimes ChatGPT and chat storm with it how to resolve a problem that you have. Like the biggest problem that there is to define the problem. How to solve it is far
Okay.
easier because you can actually talk like even with ChatGPT. As I said, like you can use some drag and drop tools to resolve certain problems. As an example, make.com. There is hunch.tools, I think,
Okay.
another one. Like, but definitely start working with AI. Like, so go to ChatGPT, go to Claude, start talking to it to
Okay.
brainstorm on solutions that you need, but you need to define the problems that you want to solve.
Okay. Now, all right. Now, uh, let's talk about when and how to use AI and GPTs and AI workflows, and of course the AI agents which are hot today. So
Mhm.
uh, n- now let's get into something technical, but of course super valuable. Understanding when and how to use different AI tools. Now, in one of your posts, you talked about GPTs, AI workflows, and AI agents. Can you break down the difference for our audience?
Okay, so basically, what we see, like with the development of AI, going back 2 years back,
Mhm.
we mostly got most of the low-hanging fruit when it comes to the quality of the model, AI model that we can reach. Of course, it will get better, but to be honest, it will not be such a significant increase in the quality of the model that we saw throughout the last year. Since like there's no simple options to increase the quality of the model, we have other ways. We found like other ways of how to use the model to make it more efficient. And let's start with a simple chat. So this is the first thing that we saw over 2 years back, when ChatGPT introduced the chat
Right.
online, we were able just to talk to it like back and forth, like we asked a question, like it retrieved an answer. This is the simplest way of using that AI. And then there were GPTs. So GPTs, if you don't know them, like you can go to ChatGPT, probably you can also like define them somewhere else. It's a specialized AI chat that is designed to resolve a specific problem. So what you can do in a GPT, you can define the instructions, you can upload specific data that AI needs to look at. ChatGPT will turn them into something that is called RAG database, so retrieval augmented generation, will pull data from the documents that you provide there in the GPT,
Right.
and it will resolve certain problems. GPTs are really amazing for solving specific tasks. So short tasks that you need to resolve. So for example, writing a LinkedIn post, like with your tone of voice based on the data that you provide, it's really, really good because you can create it to resolve a specific task. You can also use, there's like a whole store of GPTs that you can use, proofreading, a lot of them, right? Really, go to the store, check them out. But still, simple task, like so one-stop solution. You go there, you ask a
Right.
question, you get an answer based on the data
Right.
that you provide.
Okay.
Then there is AI workflows. AI workflows is anything that you have as a human, the defined process. Let's go with content writing. So if I, as a human, not using any external AI tools, write an article, I go to Google, check what are the SERP results in Google. Then I go to Ahrefs or semrush to pull SEO data. Then I create an outline. Then I write an initial draft. Then I add internal links. Then I add external links. Maybe I source additional data. But this is a defined process, one by one. So like it's really defined. It's straight away process,
Right.
and it's a workflow.
Right.
Just so you know, when you go to LinkedIn and you see like, look at my new AI agent, 99% of these are not agents, they are workflows, because it's done with make.com or hunch.tools or N8N, or there's like different ones, but still their process. If you see that they branch out, so like they go both ways, that's just an if statement. So if you see this, then do that. If you don't see this, then do that. It's still a process, linear process that has a defined pathway. And
Right.
now what we're getting into, which is amazing part, is AI agents. AI agents are agents that answer non-linear question, not obvious, without a beaten track, without a process that is predefined. So it's kind of like a tool that answers an open-ended question and defines the process along the way, which is really amazing because, for example, we have like two AI agents at the moment in our system. One is AI research engine. So basically, what we do with AI research agent, we provide it with all the data about the brief, and we ask it like, look, AI agent, here's the brief that I want to write about. Like, this is the article, the definition of my article. Can you help me with the research? Please tell me what kind of data and where should I look for it to add the data into my outline so I can provide it later on into as context to AI. So then the agent does like, okay, I'm looking at the article. I need case studies here. I need some statistics here. I need to go to our page to source some case studies from our page. I need to take some thought leadership insights from here, from there. And it makes decisions and then it executes each one of them to provide the information. But it's not that I'm telling the AI agent, like, look, for every article I need, find case studies about this heading,
Right.
something about this. It's not a process. Like, it defines the path and things that it has to do on its own, and then it executes them.
Okay. So it's like it's not, there is no workflow. For example, every time it has to find case studies, find thought leader. It just based on the topic, it decides itself.
So it has a list of tools that it can use. So
Okay.
kind of like what kind of things it can use, but it's up to him what he will do in this specific task. Like, so we always define like all the tools that like an agent can use and what are the options, but it's like a list of options that it can go with, but
So
it
for
defines them
what
on
kind
their
of
own.
will those be? Just an example.
With this one, it's basically just going like, so what are the types of data that it can go after? What are the places that it can go out, like where it can use, like what are the APIs that it can use, and so on and so forth. So basically, based on that, it decides which tools are needed to proceed with the task that is given. But it's an open-ended question. There is no predefined way of doing that. Can you do it with a workflow? Probably. And this is the biggest change, because like if I would do it with a workflow, I would have to state a lot of ifs. So
Right.
if you see this, then do that. If you see this, then do that. And the magical thing that is happening right now with AI is that I'm, as a developer, I have to get rid of the idea, the if state of my mind, when working with AI. So like instead of thinking what are the edge cases of the tasks that we can do, this is the way that I was programming for the last 10 years. I have to think about the end goal and forget about like all the ifs, because I don't need to. AI will figure out how to get to my goal, what kind of things it has to do, like to resolve the problem. But still, AI agents are extremely early. The most known AI agent would be O1 model, because they're having the reasoning part. Like, so they're defining what to do first, and then they're executing the whole thing. So this is one of the things. Perplexity has a bot for buying for you. So like in United States, it can actually purchase items for you based on your definition. So AI agents are more often, like you can see them more and more, but still, most of the cases that people on LinkedIn say that they built an AI agent,
It's
not an
just a
AI, it's a
just a
workflow.
So do you have AI agents with SEO Win or another place?
We do, but like we use them in a combination of workflow and AI agent, because it's not that, like, just so you mind, AI agents are not a solution for everything. Because like when you're working with an AI agent, you lose a little bit of predictability. If you have like a really good process for something, use the
Right.
process. It makes no sense to have to lose predictability, because if you go through the process, you know that AI will go, and not only AI, but also basically you will execute specific tasks based
Right.
on the process that you used as a human. The big problem
Right.
that I'm seeing with humans using AI is that they use the process that worked for them like for 2 3 years, then they go to AI and they forget about the process. Like, don't do that. Like, makes no sense.
So just for example, you mentioned how people do when they are writing content, they go to SERP, they go to HRFS, they go to SEMS. This is exactly the process which they should be replicating with a workflow, right?
I would start with that, because that makes sense. So if you're sourcing for keywords, like don't all of a sudden go to AI and tell it like, find me keywords for this and that. It doesn't know that. It doesn't have the knowledge. But the
Right.
biggest problem with AI, there is like one huge problem with AI. It always
Okay.
answers.
Okay. Yes, that
And
is
this
true.
is a big problem. Because if it knows or if it doesn't, it will answer.
Yeah, it's not like Google where it says result not found. It's always supposed to answer.
No,
Even if
no,
you say
no.
okay, thank you, it will still continue talking. I know.
Exactly, because like this is how it's built, and if it would not answer, we wouldn't like it. So
Right.
it's really brilliant, but it doesn't have access to everything, and it will often not tell you that it didn't do something along the way. So for me, when I'm using AI, most important part is predictability, because if I'm writing articles like for multiple customers, like our system does it, uh, I need to know what it did. Like, it's not a black box for me. I need to know what kind of data it had to make decisions, where it
Okay.
took it from, and how it
Okay.
was done.
Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about a specific example use case. Let's say I'm running an agency focused on local SEO. Now, how could I leverage a GPT specifically for that purpose? And what about an AI workflow? Can you give some tangible examples if possible?
I'm not an expert in local SEO, but if I would do that, I would probably look into all the tasks that I'm doing normally, and I would try to figure out what should we do. So, like, if it's connected to updating meta titles or meta description, I would definitely create a GPT that will help me out. I would probably scrape some kind of data to be able to figure out and cluster all my content on my website. Because AI is amazing with understanding the language. Because of that, it's amazing with clustering things that are really difficult for humans to cluster. So if I source any data to be able to perform my task, I would use scraping for that, so not AI, and then I would provide AI with the data that it needs to draw conclusions from specific things. AI is really bad with scraping, so whenever you're putting into ChatGPT a link, don't expect it to scrape it. Sometimes it will, sometimes it will not, and you don't know what it did. Scraping is something that can be done programmatically using Python, using a framework called Beautiful Soup. It's not AI, and it's amazing with scraping data. AI is really bad with that. So, like, I wouldn't use, for example, pure AI for optimizing page. Right. Because AI will not go to the code, will not be able to extract the code that you're looking after, like at. So be careful what you ask for, because AI will answer. Again, going back, AI always answers, but sometimes you don't know based on what. Sometimes, like, AI will, if you provide a URL, like, for example, and ask a question, optimize me this page for this and that, or tell me like how to optimize this page, it will look at the slug, and based on the slug of the URL, it will tell you how to optimize the page, never going there.
So even when you are using Web Pilot or those type of GPTs, it doesn't go there?
I'm not saying never. The question is what you're using. So if you're using a tool, I don't know how Web Pilot works. If you're using a tool that combines web scraping with AI, so web scraping is a non-AI feature, AI is just like drawing conclusions, then definitely it probably will work. But if you will go just to ChatGPT and even implement some additional features for web scraping, and you will give like 5 URLs, I can bet that it will not go to all the 5 pages. Just so you know, scraping a page takes, I would say, 10 to 15 seconds. One single page, one request. To scrape 5 pages, it would take 50 seconds. So if it answers within 10 seconds, do you think it went to the page or not?
No. Right. Okay.
And we don't like to wait.
Yeah, we are getting restless these days with the advancement of technology. We all are losing patience. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your favorite AI workflow for SEO and content creation?
I would say the workflow that we have inside SEO Win. So, like, because we worked on that like a lot, and it looks at multiple data sources. But to be honest, from top of my head, I'm not able to tell you, because there's like, first of all, there's like a lot of ifs. So if certain things are happening, if we see certain types of data, we do certain things. But to complete the whole article, we probably go over, I don't know, 20, 30 points of data. We use AI 30, 40 times in the whole process. So I'm not able to even tell you how it works from top of my head. Even though that I was like part of like every single step. I work directly with somebody on that.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes agencies make when integrating AI into their processes? I know you spoke about few, but are there any other bigger or major mistakes you could highlight?
Mm-hmm. Sure thing. Great question. So basically, when you're implementing any AI tools or any AI methods like into the organization, if you go to LinkedIn, you will see like my top best prompts for this or that. To be honest, if you will compile a list of prompts to how to do certain things, most of the time it will not work because it's rather about understanding how prompting works. And I would invest in that like first inside the agency so everybody understands exactly what they're doing. Because if you just share prompts with your team, first of all, most of them will not follow them. Will have some additional thoughts like how to make them better, and it will probably not work out. But like help people to understand that they can talk and try to do things with AI, and let them break things, let them make mistakes because part of learning is basically making mistakes. So, and I would give people a lot more responsibilities connected with how to implement the AI like on their own and try things out inside the company. I think the biggest problem of agencies is not giving confidence to the team that they can do it. They are able to do it. And understanding that implementing AI will not mean that they will get fired. Because a lot of employees are really, really afraid, and that's normal, that's okay, that they will get fired if they will implement the AI. And in my opinion, as I mentioned already, it's quite the opposite. They will get fired if they will not do it. This is the new reality that we're in. If you don't learn it, like how to use it, you will have problems. If not now, you will have problems in 2 years. And start thinking about small steps. Don't implement everything at once. It will not
Right.
work out. Small iterations, small improvements, step by step. And if you can find tools that already resolve certain problems for you. So as an example, again, I would give my company as an example. Use a tool like SEO Wind for content creation, which will let you not think about how to go through the process and how to prompt the articles, like how to get the articles, what kind of prompts do I need to do? Because it will do everything on the back end. From your perspective, it's just drag and drop. So there's plenty of tools in different niches that you can use that they use AI underneath, but it's not about prompting, it's about thinking and resolving a problem. So like compiling all the things together to resolve a specific problem. And this is, in my opinion, the future of AI. Most AI tools that we will use, we will not even know that we're using AI like underneath. Like we will just like use them and they will resolve the problem. The prompting part will not be that needed because they will do it for us.
Okay. Now, too many agencies are looking to offer more comprehensive AI powered services, but may not have the resources to build everything from scratch. Now, in such a scenario, how critical do you think it is to rely on a white label SEO solutions to provide a holistic suite of offering to the client?
Definitely, in my opinion, if I would be an agency, I would start with buying tools, like buying in sense of like purchasing subscriptions, and trying things out instead of creating a tool internally. As I mentioned, if it's a small thing that you need to do, like reporting, I would probably use make.com, like just to simplify reporting. But when it comes to any bigger things, don't, I would strongly recommend not to build a tool, not because I'm like selfish and I want to be the only tool in the niche. Like I really don't care. But it's really most cases waste of your time and money, because it's really extremely hard to keep it up to date, to improve the tool, and it will cost you a lot more than a simple subscription. My way of thinking, like in SEO Wind, when I'm like building a new feature, the first thing that I'm looking at is, do I have an API that can resolve my problem? So basically, can I buy a specific functionality from somebody else to resolve my problem? And I do it before I start to work on specific thing. Because
Right.
if I would think about resolving every single thing on my side on my own, it would take me far more time. I would work a lot slower, and probably I would bring in like a lot worse result.
Okay.
Just not worth it.
Okay. Now, great insight, Storm. It seems like understanding the nuisance of AI tools can really help agencies stay ahead of the curve. Uh, Speaking of staying ahead of the curve, let's shift gears slightly and talk about another cornerstone of success: SEO and content. Now, uh, AI generated content is often criticized for being robotic. How can agencies make AI content more engaging and human like? Do they all the time need to use a tool, or is there another way out?
So from my perspective, when I'm looking at the content, definitely not using AI as a search engine, just purely write me this, write me that, because this creates robotic fluff content that, from Google's perspective, it's removed from the internet, because that's a definition of spam. It's empty, it's fluff, and it doesn't bring the value to the end user. So like if you're looking and hearing about any pages that were de-indexed from the internet, or like they got hit because they were writing with AI, this is how they were using AI. Like they were asking simple questions using AI as a search engine, not adding value, not adding opinions, and so forth. I'm a strong believer in something that I call cyborg method. So a human working with AI together, not against each other, but actually together, because together we can do much more. We as humans, we have superpowers, and AI has its own superpowers, but we have to realize what are our superpowers. So definitely when you're looking at AI can research far faster. It can read a lot more, like a lot more simpler, faster. It can write extremely fast based on the context. But our superpowers is our experience. We talk to the product team, we talk to the marketing team, we have our opinions. We talk to the customers for the last 3 years. We saw so many cases that AI never saw. We can add all this influence into the article, like, or into the content that we provide. If you don't think that you have something to add, nobody will employ a button pusher. Like
Right.
you are a special matter expert in the field, so add values on top. Like, so this brings additional value to the content itself. Like, so what we're doing, for example, in SEO Win, we have like a toggle that enables you to give your feedback to the article. What we're doing next, we're parsing this input that you gave as a special matter expert on a specific topic. We're dividing it into separate thoughts. Then we're looking at the outline and the context of the outline to put these thoughts into the context of AI. So when we're writing the article, we say to AI, look, for this specific heading, our special matter expert said that this and this is important. So add value on top, like give context, as much context as possible, but don't overwhelm AI at the same time. It's not that like you will have a book of 300 pages, give it to AI and say like, do something with that. It will not work out. You have to give context to the things that you're doing. And this is the bigger problem, because context means, for most cases, when you're using just chat form of AI, it takes a lot of time to do it.
Okay. Now, how important is long form versus short form content in today's SEO landscape? And does AI changes the dynamics here?
What I can see from the data point, that the articles got longer at least 2 times for the last 5 years. Like, so we can see that they were like a lot longer. So short content that you can use in social media, use it in social media. This is where you probably should add it. When it comes to long form, like I can see that most top 10 search results are rather longer than they were like 5 to 8 years ago. So a lot of people say like, okay, but people don't read the whole long blog post. Yes, but what Google does, like they go to a specific place in the blog post and show you where your answer, where you can find the answer. They even highlight a place where they show like, here's the answer to your question. But then if you like the answer to your question, what you do, you screen through the blog and you read the parts of the blog that is written, the article that is written, to read more on the topic. So this is how it works. This is why long form in sense of SEO works better.
Okay. Now, when it comes to ranking number one on Google, what are three things agencies should prioritize in 2025?
So I can definitely tell you two big things. Let's see, like if I can say three. First of all, like figure out like how to increase the quality of the content, because Google is all about the value of the content. But if you only increase the quality of the content, so actually your articles bring in more value, it doesn't mean that it will solve your problems, because on the other side there is authority. Authority means that you have to build trust, like in eyes of Google, that your page will answer a specific question. And when it comes to authority, I will very simplify it, like extremely, probably most SEOs would kill me for that. But authority for me means that other people cite you. So like you get actually the backlinks that probably most of SEOs said that they're dead, and Google definitely told that like we don't look at backlinks anymore. And you have to see like what are the citations at any social media. So you have to be actually well known. The other thing of the authority, I always say like be the Wikipedia of your niche, but actually niche. That means because Google, what they will do, they will let you in small pools of content, and they will do it gradually. They will let you to bigger pools and then bigger pools, but you have to start from a really specific niche. Don't expand your content all over the place. So if you're in the marketing niche, it doesn't mean that you can write about anything in marketing. Just look at your Google Search Console, look at the data where Google is letting you in a little bit more, and slowly expand. If one day, I hope you will become HubSpot of this world, then you will be able to write about the whole marketing world. But until then, focus on specific, where do you specialize, niche out, and like really focus on that, where you can add the most value, and Google will help you out to build your authority within this niche, and then slowly, gradually expand, add topics on top of that. So this is my recommendations when it comes to SEO.
HubSpot might not be the right example, right? And right now, you know how they lost their traffic.
But like look at this from different perspectives. Like what have like they lost on blog.hubspot.com. When you look at their main domain, so hubspot.com domain, they didn't lose traffic.
Yeah,
So like the main source of their money is still there. So like we're
those are
looking like
all rubbish keyword they were ranking. I don't even think they were generating any value for them. They were just
I don't
generating
think so.
passive
Like
useless traffic.
this is like the definition what they did of spam, like so they were all over the place. So again, looking at the main domain hubspot.com, it didn't lose that much. Like so you can look at all the big ones, like they're all over the place, they're going up and down because of the changes, and all of them they're trying to use an SEO to extend. If you are a big company like they are, you will try to bend the rules. So and that's okay. Like this is what we do at SEO, as SEOs. I always try to see like what is the extent that Google will let me go and not slap me on the hands. So this is how I am. I like to test out. I do a lot of tests. Not all of them are good, but I need to know what works and what doesn't.
Right. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about business. Most of our listeners are either SEO consultants and agency owners who wants to grow their business. Now, of course, white label SEO is a massive opportunity for them. What's your advice for agencies looking to pitch their services effectively?
So I've had a webinar with really a brilliant person that was talking about his agency, and he mentioned like he has an agency of 60 people in Dubai, and he mentioned one thing to me, that often white labeling for other agencies makes a lot of sense, because you have one customer, you don't have to run around look for additional customers. If you deliver good quality content or good quality services, it's
Right.
often worth to work on a lower price, but for
Okay.
one customer or like two customers, if you partner up like with agencies and you white label your services for other
Right.
agencies, you don't have to talk to the customers. You don't deal with the customers. Like you don't have to look for the customers. So there's so many costs that like go off the table. The whole sales process becomes really easy, but you have to know that you're delivering the value. So like there are two ways. Either you will work directly with the customers and you will like look
Right.
for the customers and then look to retain the customers, because retention is the biggest problem always. But like it's your choice. I think both ways are good. If I would be building an agency, like I would think about working with other agencies to white label my services. Like I think it's really worth to diversify and
And
use this option.
right. Right. And how does AI fit into white label SEO? Can agencies use it to increase margins while maintaining quality?
Definitely, it's all about like talking to your customers. Whoever the customer is it another agency that sells for somebody else? It's worth it.
Okay. And
So,
how do
but talk to them.
right. Now, how do you think agencies should differentiate themselves in the competitive SEO market in today's world?
Definitely giving more value at the end, over deliver every single time. And if you just want to use AI to create posts because you just have a kind of a head count of articles that you can have to prepare every single month, and
Right.
they will not work for the customer, they will never bring in value, organic traffic, this is a short way, like a quick way to lose a customer. So always think about how you can help your customer to get
Okay.
the results that they want. So the first thing that I would ask anybody that I work with, what
Mhm.
is the KPI that you're looking at? What do you want to achieve? So if I know that, I can help them out with that. And to be honest, like just bringing in 10 articles per month, this is not a KPI.
Right. All right. Now, Tom, this has been an absolute masterclass in AI and, of course, SEO strategies. Now, before we wrap up, let's do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right. Now, you just answer what comes in the top of your mind. And one AI tools you can't live without, and it is not SEO win.io.
Claude.
Claude. Okay. Biggest SEO myth that needs to die.
Uh,
Mhm.
that's that's a hard one. That AI knows everything.
Okay. And one book or podcast you recommend for agency owners.
Uh, Agency owners. To be honest, like I don't know. Like I don't have a straight answer for that one. I don't have
It's the name on
anything
the
to
top you
recommend.
could recommend.
Definitely. Listen to Navneet, like the agency insider show. Like this is the one that I would really recommend. What I would recommend here, definitely go to LinkedIn, find some people like on LinkedIn that share their knowledge. Look at what they're doing. Navneet is definitely one of these people.
Thank you very much for your praise. And finally, where can our listeners find you and learn more about SEO?
So basically, you can find me on LinkedIn. So look for Tom Winter on LinkedIn. You will definitely find me there. Like I live there. It's my next house, basically. So I love to talk to people. And if you want to just ping me and talk, shoot. Like I don't mind, and I really like to talk to people.
Okay. All right. Thank you once again, Tom, for joining us on the Agency Insider Show. And to all our listeners, don't forget to check out Tom's work on LinkedIn and subscribe to his updates. And if you are interested in exploring white label SEO services to elevate your agency offerings, feel free to reach out to us at Page Traffic. See you next time. And once again, Tom, thank you for giving me your valuable time.
Thanks a lot, Anit, and happy content writing for everybody.